Hey, thanks for being a part of the conversation. Let's do it. Let's play it forward. These are real people with real stories. The struggle to play it forward. Episode number 617 is with Pete Summit from the group Crashing Wayward.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. How's everything with you?
Good. Yeah, no real complaints at all. It's a beautiful day in Las Vegas, and sun's out, and I'm happy.
Isn't it always a beautiful day in Vegas?
You know what? I think, being from Southern California, especially living on the coast for the last, 10 years, 15 years of my life, I have better weather here in Las Vegas than stereotypical Southern California. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on the band's new song, Stranger Days, dude. This is a good song. I mean, it doesn't waste any time getting to the story.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a fun one to write and record. And, it was one of those ones that when we recorded it, it was just like, I couldn't wait for it to come out. So here we are. It did drop with the album Listen, but as a standalone single, it's exciting to have it out.
Absolutely.
Finally.
And the thing about it is that it can fit onto so many different platforms. I mean, even an adult top 40 station could pick this song up and have some success with it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those universal songs, It kind of, although we are a, modern rock band, it's kind of something that I believe would translate to a lot of different people's taste in music, So yeah, like what you're saying, top 40 maybe, adult contemporary. It's just a storytelling song, and anthemic is what I was really hoping to portray vocally.
Yeah.
So I think we caught that with this.
Did you guys go into the song knowing that listeners would probably sing along with it?
I think I kind of, in the back of my mind, intentionally, subconsciously want everybody to sing along to our songs,
Yeah.
So when I'm writing a song and coming up with, the lyrics and melody, I imagine myself on stage and everybody singing back at me. So, if they are doing that to this song, then I welcome it. And, yeah, love it.
Well, we can't go without talking about that album cover. My God, you guys really, this could fit into any place, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was actually, the cover model was my daughter.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it is. And it came from the photo shoot from the Breathe session, before we were even close to finishing the album, when it was just kind of debatable what we were going to do with the tracks that we recorded. We only had 3 at the time, and Breathe was our first single that we released as a band, introducing the world to Crashing Wayward. Mm-hmm. So we needed single art for that, album single art for that, and we used my daughter during COVID, and the whole thing with the tape over the mouth.
Yeah.
And just kind of it kind of just became the branding, of the band.
Wow.
So we had to roll with it when it came down to the album and titling it Listen. And, the tape over her mouth it was just kind of like spoke for itself. So
absolutely,
we had to do it.
Speaking of that song, Breathe, man, you guys go all out with that bass beat. And then to have that filtered lead vocal, man, good combination.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Got to give a shout out to Mike Gillies, our producer, engineer, and the one who mixed the album. So, yeah, I think that's one of my proudest songs for sure.
Yeah, when you filter the voice like that, I can't imagine the meeting that you have to have. Hey, everybody, I've got an idea. This is what we're going to do, and then we'll sharpen the vocals a little bit later on. But right now, I think a thinned out voice would be the best.
Oh, I just came in with a megaphone and said we're doing this.
Did you?
No, I'm kidding.
I say, man, they've got tools for that, man. You don't have to.
Yeah. No, straight analog plug in. We're doing it. Yeah.
So now, what one-worded title on the album? What are you pointing to the listener, or is it that you guys were the listeners first, and now you're kind of passing it forward to us?
We're hoping that people pay it. It's kind of like what's the right term, tongue in cheek in a way. It's, we're hoping that people listen, but there's a message that we're trying to convey within this album, lyrically, musically, and just kind of like where we are in the world today and people's attention span. It's like 3 or 4 seconds, they're already all right.
Yep.
If we do what we used to do and take time and actually listen, then you might learn a lot more, or you might know what you're missing. So that's going back to my daughter. That's kind of like the advice I always give to her when she went off to school is like, all right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to listen to people. Don't talk. Listen, and then think about what you're going to say and talk. So
now, is that one of the reasons why Mouth to God's Ear is only 2 minutes and 29 seconds?
Yeah, David Harris, one of the guitarists, we got Stacy David Blades and David Harris. But David Harris, he wrote the music to that one, and was and is a huge advocate for writing a shorter song, get to the chorus, don't bore us. And it was kind of like one of those things. It was like, for me, I've always came from a place where, maybe songs were 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes long in previous bands. And especially before this band, I was in a kind of like a metal band. So you know how long those songs can go. And you have a lot of time to write a story lyrically around that. But I love that he really challenged me to, hey, get to the chorus, don't bore us. And within that, trying to write a message or a story within that short of time frame was really kind of exhilarating. And now he kind of sends me music and I'm just like, all right, I got it, and we got a good thing going.
I don't think there's 2 songs on this album that sound the same. I mean, look at Paper Airplane Heart. I mean, that in itself, that's a standalone.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love that. I love that song. That's, I think that's kind of like a sleeper one on the album too, It's just one of those, I guess you would, and not to give it a bad rap, but it's a filler, but it's all killer, I love that song a lot. And there's such a good message to that, it's about, not giving up. Another year, another trip around the sun is talking, relating to life and, just living the best and most out of your life that you can and not giving up. So I think that's an important song, and it's a great song that just kind of like glues and is the mortar to a lot of the heavy bricks or the hard hitters within that album. Yeah,
I labeled it the deep cut. In other words, the cut I'm going to go to no matter what. And so, it's like, I don't want anybody else to have this song. It's my song. It's my deep cut song. Yeah. It has that kind of a vibe about it.
There you go. I like that. I forgot about that term, deep cut.
Oh, I just aged myself then, didn't I?
No, it's great.
So who were you guys channeling when you did Disco Kills? I mean, it's got that dark beginning. It's almost got that Black Sabbath kind of not a rage, but just a stage.
Yeah, that one was another one that David Harris presented musically, and it was actually the first song that we wrote in the pandemic. So it was the very first song. He sent me the track, and I never even opened up my GarageBand at that point. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to figure this out. So he sent me the track, opened up GarageBand, and it just kind of like, it was something that wrote itself, kind of. I had always held on to the title Disco Kills. Yeah. I always wanted to name the band Disco Kills. So it just had stuck with me over the years. And it was one of those, it's an interesting one because story-wise, even though it kind of, again, is tongue-in-cheek about disco music, it's really more of kind of like where we are, socially, politically. Yeah. And how polarized we are and how one anybody in that position can abuse their power, you know, and treat it as like their own personal party and disco. So that's what that song lyrically is really supposed to be about, but it's more fun and in trying to tell that story of the feud between rock and roll and disco. But yeah, I think Dave, he is heavy in some bluesy, you know, Southern rock.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the most bluesy, Southern rock, Sabbathy. That and Staring at Ceilings, I think, are the two very Sabbathy hitters.
Yeah, yeah.
So
when you got the album, did you guys sit back and go, you know, it's about time there's a great rock band on the scene again? Not only is it in the attitude of the music, but the band has the attitude.
Yeah, I like to think that we're that band. I think we are.
Yes.
You know, I think that once people really do listen and once, you know, we really get our name out there and tour and travel the world, I have no doubt in my mind that we are that band, you know. So I think that's starting. We start with what are we? What are we trying to say? What are we trying to sound like? And I don't think there is any agenda other than being the best rock band that we can.
Yep.
And, you know, I think we're just so multifaceted. We all have different backgrounds and influences, and it just, for whatever reason, it just kind of comes out with us. And it kind of in a more defining sound that is Crashing Wayward.
Yeah. So how do you protect those vocals on that song Closer? Because, I mean, you take those vocals up into a high range. Yeah.
I am very kind of regimented in kind of how I treat my voice. I drink a lot of Manuka honey and hot water and lemon. So, you know, I get as best rest as I can. I try to eat well. I don't drink a lot of alcohol or smoke. So those are kind of like the daily regimens that I take for, you know, keeping my voice healthy. But it's really kind of just knowing where I can go. You know, I know my voice. I know where my range is. Mm-hmm. So once I kind of work it out and get to know where I can go, it just, although it might sound hard or, you know, really way up there, for me, it's become conditioned, you know, I'm conditioning it. So it kind of gets to a point where it's like, I got this, no problem.
You know, a couple seconds ago, you talked about taking it out on the road. Do you guys have something planned yet?
We do. Actually, we're throwing some dates around. We do have a couple of dates locked in. I know for sure we are confirmed for June 21st and June 22nd in Milwaukee, I believe, for the Summerfest. Yeah, so we'll be playing the Guitars for Vets stage. I'm not too sure what exact location that stage is, but, you know, on that bill is Buck Cherry, Motley Crue,
really?
And so we're excited about that. And we are working around dates with that and also doing a more East Coast run, hopefully this summer, or possibly getting over to Asia. So we're talking about that and a European tour as well. So we're hoping that 2024, we're kind of taking a couple of months off right now just because we're working on, you know, new songs and kind of getting in the studio again and everything. But once we hit June, it's off and running.
That's it, man. That's what it's all about. Where can people go to find out more about the album and to find out more about the band, man, especially when it comes to the merchandise?
Yeah, crashingwayward.com. You can find us, everything you need, crashingwayward.com there. Please follow us on all socials at Crashing Wayward. Spotify, if anybody can, you know, follow us there, like and subscribe to our YouTube. It's all there, crashingwayward.com and at Crashing Wayward on all socials.
Yeah, and listeners need to understand that when you talk about, you know, follow you, I mean, there are a lot of booking agents out there that say, okay, what you're following, what are your analytics? And that is so important to the band. Right.
Yeah, that is, you know, if anything, if there has been any obstacle for us as a band to be fully transparent, it is because of socials, because people take a look at that and are like, well, your engagement is this, or your followers are that. It's like, the truth is, you know, we're going to play a stage, we're going to play a city, and we're going to convince anybody that's there. And we're going to, you know, we're going to convert anybody into Crashing Wayward. So booking agents, please take note on Crashing Wayward. We will make you money.
I love it. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Absolutely. I love talking with you. So anytime.
Excellent. Will you be brilliant today, okay?
You too, Howard. All right, man.